All right, guys, most people think the housing market is gonna crash, including myself. So in this article, it is reported that Goldman Sachs, their economists are saying by the end of 2022, the housing market has the opportunity to increase by 16%. Now, most of you know me as a full-time real estate investor and entrepreneur, and I will tell you, I did not think reports like that would be coming out by an institution like Goldman Sachs. So let's dive into this because that makes me very excited to be able to wholesale more homes, flip more homes, and quite honestly, continue buying rentals at a really high rate. So year over year, the housing market has been appreciating roughly 20% nationally, and that has been spurred on by interest rates being incredibly low, right? Because that's what the government really wants so that they can continue to lend out more money and keep the economy booming. You also have a crunch on the housing inventory, right? As someone that is trying to buy as many homes every single month as flips and as rentals, it is very hard to find housing. And so there is a huge housing inventory crunch. And then on top of that, you have COVID over the last 1.5+ years that essentially is migrating people out of the cities like San Francisco, Chicago, New York, etc., and moving them into the suburbs where they can actually get more space for essentially less dollars than they had when they lived in San Francisco, Chicago, New York in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, $1 million apartment. You can get much more than that in the suburbs. So the combination of all three of these things has been great for the housing industry. It's been great for my business. And then you have people like myself on top of all of this that, yes, I've been in the real estate industry, but I also want to hedge against inflation. We all are very aware of how much money the government has been quite literally just printing out trillions and trillions of dollars and giving it away for free. And now we are at the point of seeing quite literally whether it's gas or whether it's milk or whether it's the cost of houses, inflation is hitting us real time, all across the board. And so someone like myself that might make a bunch of money flipping homes or might make a bunch of money in his investments in stocks and crypto and in other type of investments I make, I need to find a way to hedge against inflation. And the best way I know how is real estate. So I am actively buying as many rentals as possible to be able to hedge against inflation, as it's a hard asset and quite literally will be around forever. And as I just mentioned, there's a shortage of inventory to buy. So I focus on marketing direct to the homeowner, getting direct to them, and so I can buy direct to them and I don't need to worry about realtors, listings, etc. The people that have been educated financially realize one thing: real estate will be around forever. And if you do real estate right, I'm not sure you can do real estate, but if you invest in real estate the right way, including your personal home, then you are going to be able to have tax write-offs, you're going to have income, and you're going to have the ability to build a massive amount of wealth. And quite honestly, to hedge against inflation, that's exactly where my money's going. So let's paint out the obvious, which is something I've talked about for months now on my YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure you're liking this video. The YouTube gods really appreciate it. But what I talk about, which is common sense, at least to me, which would be supply and demand. We are talking about the lack of inventory and people want to buy homes because the government is giving away incredibly low interest rates on those loans. As someone that just quite literally bought a home several weeks ago, I know how great that can be and how easy they are trying to make the opportunity to buy a home. Challenge is there's nothing to buy. So I had to use my resources in the terms of I'm a real estate investor, I market directly to homeowner, so I had to go directly to homeowner. I had to skip the whole process of the MLS to buy my own personal home. In fact, it worked out for me because I've been doing it for 14 years. But what I would say to that is most people don't have that resource. They don't know how to, so it's very difficult for them to go directly to the homeowner that is actually interested in selling and buy directly from them. A lot easier for most people to call an agent, see if they can find anything on the market. So supply and demand comes up, and there's no supply and high demand. Then people will bring up, yeah, well, home builders are still building homes because there's increase in value, and so they're going to be building more homes. New homes are going to be hitting the market. Well, you need to do your research. The builders are having their own issues, such as materials. We just went through this crazy material cost increase, and on top of that, builders are having a problem buying land that they see value in so that they can build and make a profit margin. Be clear, builders are investors themselves. They're gonna buy the land, they're gonna build the homes, and they're gonna sell for a profit. They are flippers to some extent, right? And so they're having challenges with the material, the lack of labor opportunities, and the lack of opportunity with the parcels of land that they would want to buy for them to build on. On top of all of this, you have an economy, specifically the stock market and cryptocurrency, that is continuing to boom. People, and even young people such as the under 25s, are making hand over fist money. Money is everywhere right now, and that is exacerbated by individuals leaving states like California that have incredibly high taxes and incredibly high costs of living. That is exacerbated by people being able to use cryptocurrencies as a way to make a ton of money, not have to pay taxes, their choice, not my suggestion, and being able to buy at top dollar whether they should be or not. And then it all falls under the plot of there's not enough homes to buy, so the people with the money will pay more because they can. So listen, let me give a couple pieces of advice that I myself even took when buying my own home. I did want to take advantage of low interest rates, but it doesn't seem like that's going to change right now because, quite honestly, if people couldn't get the loans they're currently getting, they won't be able to afford the mortgage payments, and it can cause chaos through the real estate industry, such as the banking industry, the loan industry, essentially being able to pay for the mortgages, etc. It would be really foolish if all of a sudden interest rates went up to 6%, something like that. As a side note, I actually bought my first home at 6% interest, and I thought I was getting a steal. Now, the other thing will be, if you are looking to buy a home, make sure you actually can afford the home. I just bought myself an incredibly nice home in Miami, $1 million plus home, but I also did the math first. I wanted to make sure I understood how much the insurance costs, because in Florida, insurance is incredibly expensive. I also needed to make sure I could maintain the home. I have a saltwater pool, which is more expensive to maintain than a chlorine pool. I did the math to make sure between my mortgage payment, my taxes for the state, real estate taxes, my insurance, and the cost of maintenance, I could afford every single month, no matter what. And once I was able to do the math, I decided to pull the trigger. So make sure you are buying a home that regardless, you're able to afford all of this. The thing that I find the most common is people don't realize how much it costs to maintain a home. A good place to start, in my opinion, is anywhere between 1 to 3% yearly or annually of the purchase price of your home. So if you buy $1 million home, expect to be paying, let's just use 1%, right? Expect to be paying $10,000 a year to maintain the home. And whether it's a roof, air conditioning, pool, landscaping, unless you want your home to go to shit, then you're gonna have to maintain your home. Things like paint, the exterior, the interior. It is crazy how much it costs to maintain your home. So I'm gonna wrap this up by first saying, make sure you're liking this video and you are subscribed, as I drop 6 videos a week right here. Also, this is gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out. When Goldman Sachs and their economists say 16% more by the end of 2022, I mean, I might flip the home I just bought myself. And I will tell you this, I'm gonna continue to buy rentals. So hopefully you found this good, interesting, and thought-provoking. I will see you guys on the next YouTube video. Peace.